Yes, well, I am an English language teacher. I've been working in schools and universities, not only in Chile, but also in the United Kingdom for 15 years. I've been an active member of research community for a long time. Now we recently created an applied linguistics society in the university where I'm doing my PhD. I'm doing a PhD now in social linguistics and education. I also have a master's in TESOL from the UCL, the Institute of Education in the UK. And the research I presented on the conference has to do with understanding some ways that or factors that may influence a student's politicization, and whether these factors or this social commitment that some students attending public institutions in Chile, my country, South America, has some links with the pedagogy applied by their teachers. This means that I also presented a bit about what the teachers might feel regarding their impact in their pedagogical practice with the students. Well, I think that my motivations were many. I would say that during the pandemic, we could address some emerging sociolinguistic trends, for example, because this was a unique and challenging social context, right? Because it indeed impacted language use and communication patterns. So my motivation was not to be alone, because you understand that doing a PhD is quite a lonely journey, and this was increased by the pandemic. So my motivation also to carry out research during this time was driven by the desire to investigate and understand emerging trends like language variation, digital communication, impact on linguistic identities, also contribute to knowledge and solutions. For example, I don't know, considering language barriers in online education, or analyzing the role in disseminating public health information, for example, with critical discourse analysis. Also, adapting teaching strategies was another motivation, because I could explore and address and adapt my methodology by including linguistic diversity in virtual classrooms. Of course, that I wanted to keep academic engaged, because this caused like a shift in academic events, including conferences. So presenting my research in virtual conferences allowed me to connect with other researchers, receive feedback, which I value the most, and stay up to date with the latest research in my field. And finally, or last but not least, I think that it has to do with personal growth and resilience, because undertaking research and participating in conferences during uncertain times could have been motivated by a desire for a personal growth and resilience. Yeah. I would say a lot of advantages, rather disadvantages. I would start with the disadvantages then. I would say like the lack of in-person interaction is something that I miss when presenting online, because casual conversations and spontaneous collaborations are harder to replicate in virtual settings, right? Presenting face-to-face reduces, of course, the technological issues. For example, now I am experiencing a technological issue, and this could be replicated in online presenting too. And yeah, that I would say that's those are two disadvantages. But there are many advantages that I'd like to address very briefly. Basically, the accessibility and inclusivity, because, and also the cost effectiveness, because both are related. So online conferences remove geographical barriers, right? So they make easier for us from around the world to attend these conferences. And without the need for travel, accommodation, and other expenses, of course, that we can afford taking part in different conferences more often. There's a flexibility in scheduling, so we can participate or we can attend certain presentations based on our schedule or based on our busy day. We are reducing environmental impact because we travel less, so we use fewer airplanes, and also because I think it's a great opportunity for networking. Absolutely. I would wholeheartedly encourage my friends and colleagues to attend an online conference. And I did that during the pandemic too. These conferences offer many benefits that make them valuable, and it is an accessible platform for academic engagement and knowledge exchange, right? So I will repeat some of the others. They are cost effective. There's more access to possibilities to attend these conferences. They are more inclusive, because some people who might have some special educational needs can use different technological devices to translate, for example, what the presenter is saying. They can be more prepared at home. Also, these are very related to the previous one, but I think that we need to adapt to changing circumstances, especially when we are related in research and education. So I would say that embracing online conferences not only demonstrates our resilience, but also our willingness to keep involved with changing circumstances, and our honest desire to have a positive impact in the world, in the academic world. Well, I need to say that I'm very, very happy with the TERA, TERA, the Teaching and Education Research Association. This is my third or fourth time presenting in one of your congresses. And I like it very much because it fosters academic excellence and collaboration. You have been so nice to me every time that I have questions or that I've faced some issues. I strongly believe that you are a well-organized conference. You planned everything in detail, and you also give time to reflect upon our own presentations. I always find it interesting to attend to some of your congresses because it's interesting research. So the quality of research presented was exceptional. It was inspiring too, especially for me, considering that I come from a very different background, thinking of South America, Chile, right? I liked that you provided me with a leaflet or a summary book where all the abstracts were there. So I think that was a thoughtful touch. And that's good because sometimes when you attend conferences, they want to give you like a summary of abstracts or the information of presenters. So it's more likely that you would forget. But with this in your mind, you would go back to read the summary and find the name of the researcher and the study that caught your attention. You also always select engaging topics to discuss. It's a strong networking opportunity to interact with fellow academics for diverse backgrounds. I can see that you are committed to academic development, so that's why I keep participating in your congress. And you are genuine. I think that your commitment is honest in terms of promoting intellectual growth, knowledge dissemination, and all the advancement possible in the field of teaching and education.